Hi, this is Mustard Strong with the 24th of June 2012 nightly Newsfeed wrap-up. I've got to be quiet tonight because it's been very hot here, and my wife is physically challenged. She got a bad vaccine when she was about 20 years old. She's got a condition known as fibromyalgia, and she's trying to sleep in the mosquito tent in our bedroom, so I'm going to be very quiet tonight. Lots of things percolating in my mind. One of them, as I touched on last night, is the imminent threat of martial law in the corporate United States of America, and what that might mean for me when the bankers want to call in my birth certificate. I see Obama trying to repatriate all American citizens to the Gulag. And tomorrow morning I start putting together my deep nature survival kit. Now, that said, I had an interesting conversation today with a long lost friend. I won't divulge his name without his permission, but he is an author, and he has written scripts for documentaries on television in the country where he resides. He lived here for some time, and he dug into some deep corners of Korean civilization. And we had a very interesting talk today. He is of the opinion that, and I have also thought of this possibility, he corroborated this, that the showdown between Iran and Israel is a distraction, and that the real conflagration is going to happen here on the Korean peninsula between South and North Korea within a month. I think the North Koreans will not start this. I think it will be a false flag operation that commences it. If it happens, I will be nimble and agile and seeking out the best hiding places. Let's leave it at that. Just think about it. Think about how they divert attention. And all the attention is on Iran and Israel. But what is the biggest powder keg in the world? Right here. And the North Koreans have shown remarkable restraint in the last few years. I remember in spring of 2010 when Kissinger and cunt-face Hillary Clinton visited this country, and within 10 days the South Korean Cheonan vessel was destroyed, and they blamed it on North Korea, and the North Koreans just simply said, "We didn't do it." That's all they said. And I've seen the evidence that they didn't do it. So I think that the North Koreans are not going to initiate a war. The way it will be done is through a false flag operation. Now, if this occurs, this country will be crawling with NATO troops. So I have to consider. I know there's OPSEC and all that, but I don't think I'm giving too much away here. All of the forests in Korea are on mountains. I can't remember a time when I walked through a flat forest in Korea. So, and also when I hike the mountains in Korea, I find bunkers everywhere that are still intact, as if they're just waiting to be reused. So I don't think the mountains are any place to hide. So I'm thinking of other places to hide, should it happen. But we're not going to even get into timeline theory here. I'll save that for another broadcast. Anywho, I'm going to tootle over to David Icke headlines, and I noticed that on the left side of his newsfeed there is a new partially displayed advertisement that has been played at Rense.com for as long as I can remember. And I can't see all of the ad. It was clumsily put up. The 4 dangers destroying men. Watch the eye-opening video here. Viewer discretion is advised. And what this, I watched part of the video. I watched just enough to get a sense for what it's about. And what this video is about is that the essence of manhood is testosterone. And it's all tied into winning. And amping up your testosterone and winning. Whether you are a Wall Street asshole or an athlete or whatever you are as a man, success is all tied into amping up your testosterone and beating the shit out of other men. And this is on the David Icke website. And he didn't even figure out how to fit it in. And as far as I'm concerned, this is the Jewish ethic as espoused in the Talmud. Sort of pervade unto the Gentiles, to get the Gentiles to beat the shit out of each other. And I'll tell you something, you know, like I went to high school in Oklahoma. And yeah, I remember the testosterone surge before a match, a wrestling match. And they say that, you know, the winner gains more testosterone and more confidence and more potential to defeat. And the loser loses testosterone and loses confidence and loses the potential to defeat. This is just Zionist bullshit wrapped up in a turd package that is being purveyed by David fucking Icke. So the last shred of confidence that I had in David Icke has been destroyed. Being a man is about obeying God and doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, and not doing unto others as you would not have them do unto you. And honoring your woman and doing your best at every turn to ensure that kindness and justice prevails. And by justice I mean, if someone has done wrong, Their soul should be searched. And if they understand they've done wrong, they should be given an opportunity to make up for it. If they do not understand that they have done wrong, they should be sequestered. And here we have this testosterone amping madness bullshit campaign coming from the David fucking Icke website. That's about as loud as I can get tonight. David fucking Icke. Is that what you've stooped to? Testosterone? It's disgusting. David Icke, MTV. Oh, well, I guess he's on MTV now. Join the great gathering of consciousness. Sure. Remember who you are, as David Icke says you are. Right. If you want to remember who you are, sit down and just don't do anything. Sit down and do nothing. Nothing. Sit down and do nothing for several hours. And your mind will object. Your mind will get fidgety. It will come up with all kinds of distractions, and just see them as distractions. And sit there and refuse to do anything. And refuse to follow the mental distractions of your mind. And just do it. And eventually, all of that will fall away, and you'll find out who you really are. And you don't need David fucking Icke to tell you who you really are. You don't need a guru. You don't need some fucking snake oil salesman from the Isle of Wight to tell you who you really are. You don't need to buy his fucking book to tell you who you really are. All you need to do is sit down and stop and check out and don't do anything. Just sit and watch. You'll find out who you really are. Don't follow this motherfucker. I guess I'll click on over to Rense. I've got very little time left. Maybe I'll snag one headline. Fukushima scare, Fukushima scare, Fukushima scare, Fukushima scare, Fukushima scare, Fukushima scare. Are U.S. drone strikes war crimes? That's an item on the Rense Newsfeed. It's a question. Is that a rhetorical question? Are U.S. drone strikes war crimes? Gee, I don't know. Gosh. Might they be war crimes? Gosh. Murdering innocent people with robot planes. Could that be a war crime? Gosh. I guess I have to scratch my head and think about that for a minute. Yeah, I think that's a war crime. We've got the science behind the knuckleball. Thank you, Rense. Thank you for giving me the science behind an insignificant piece of trivia relating to an insignificant sport that is part of an insignificant culture, that is part of an insignificant empire in a vast spinning array of ups and downs on the cosmic scale of universal development. Thank you, Rense. Thank you, sir. Okay, I think that's about all the time that I have. This is Mustard Strong, formerly known as James Fargon. I hope that you are all well, and I hope we all get through this safely together. Over and out.